to Austin, hey, keep it up, buddy. Keep wheeling. We love it.
I respect you for what you're going through and how you're dealing with it.
I love you, brother. God bless you. Anything you need, I'm right around the corner. You know it. We're in your corner. We're fighting for you, buddy.
There are people out there that are way worse off than I am. I have a lot to look forward to. I'm not giving up, and I'm going to be fighting. I was coming home from work in the auxiliary police department, late at night. Had a spell of where I blacked out completely. We knew something was wrong, so we went in and had several tests done. After many tests, many diagnoses from many hospitals. It is rapid. It's very degenerative. It's called multiple system atrophy. Four to 5 in every 100,000 people in the entire United States have it. Because it is such a rare disease, there really is no treatments and there is no cure. My walking is very limited. I actually have a little card that says, "No, I'm not drunk." And it's real hard to get through. Getting the diagnosis from the doctor was kind of healing. Just getting some answers. I've been told that it's anything from, "Oh, you have MS." Oh, no, it's MSA. It's not the same. "Oh, well, you have Parkinson's." No, it's not Parkinson's. It's actually MSA. Well, what is it? Basically, it's in its own little field. You get a little bit of Parkinson's disease. You get a little bit of autonomic disorder, and it's actually kind of been compared to Lou Gehrig's disease. You lose all basic body controls that you don't normally think of, from digestion, balance, heart rate, blood flow, lung capacity, breathing, body temperature. You're either always cold, you're always hot. It gets harder, so you have to push harder. Obviously, I'm sitting in a wheelchair. This was actually donated from Michelle Cox, who lost her sister in October. She passed away at the age of 42. You know that at 46 years old, that you may not make it to 47.
So, I mean, I'd like to weld them and then I'll tape them, but like a raw M for the Mopar, and I think that would just look kind of cool.
Frame these down here, make them all pretty, paint it.
I've got a good friend named Austin Crawford. He's a neighbor of mine. First time you would meet Austin, you would never know there's anything wrong with him. I mean, he's always got a high spirit, smile on his face. As long as he's waking up in the morning, walking and talking, he's doing his thing, looking to help somebody or do something.
They really like the raw steel when it comes to, so everything painted, I think that'll be all right.
I was always into motorcycles. Bought my first motorcycle for me when I was 7. How can I explain what riding a motorcycle is like? Have the worst day in the world, come back home and be the happiest person, because I got to relieve that tension, just that being free for that few miles. I had an incident a couple years ago. Went to put the kickstand down and thought I put the kickstand down. I don't know if maybe if I had a small lapse of syncope just for a split second, the whole bike came down and crushed my foot and broke my left foot on top of it right in half. From that point on is when I always started thinking about it. It was to the point where my friends were actually worried. So my rides got short.
We know that there's an end chapter to our life. We just don't know when it's going to be. Unfortunately, this young man has a rough idea when his chapter is going to come to an end. And the attitude and the outlook, he's just nothing but positive, 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 nothing negative. Nothing gets him down. When you think you're having a bad day or whatever, put yourself in this guy's shoes. I mean, but he doesn't complain. He's just, everything is uplifting. He's got everything planned out. He knows what he wants to do.
What's up, brother? Give me good vibrations. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Good. How you doing? Nice to see ya.
Definitely a positive influence to see him go through daily what he goes through and still have the will to get on that bike.
I mean, I've seen a lot of bad days and a lot of good days, and the bike does help him a lot with that. Between the car show and with the State Line Riders, biker guys, and the car club, we raised money to help Austin make his bike a trike, because everybody knows everybody likes to have their head in the wind, and Austin's big about that. It's a good therapy for him, keeps his motor skills running.
He was given a second chance by people helping him out to be able to stay on that bike. That's kind of what State Line Riders is about, is helping out those that can't help themselves.
And he's all about giving back to this disease that he has contracted. He's a hero to me.
Right now we're still going to ride, but always knowing in the back of my mind that once I'm unable to ride, we will find somebody to pay it forward to. Just to see them being able to get that freedom that I had when I was on it. That's going to be just the ultimate. Just seeing their face. Don't give up. There's many people out there that you can talk to on forums, the Multiple System Atrophy Coalition. Just never take each day for granted. Make somebody smile, make somebody happy, crack a joke. Hold the door for somebody. That may change somebody's life. I met my wife on a blind date, Milford Fun Days. I think it's harder on the caretaker sometimes more than the person, because they know in the back of their head that we're not going to be here. Yeah, she's always been there. This doesn't always make you a happy camper, so you get frustrated with yourself. She's given everything to me, but the only thing I can give back to her is love and support. There's one key thing that I always try to do, and before she leaves, I always tell her I love you more. That way she knows that I'm thinking of her. She's got one special rock over there that I did paint. She will have that memory. That's something that she can always look at no matter what. born on my father's birthday. My father's been a big influential part of my life. When my mom and dad got divorced, I went with my father. He was the role model that I always looked up to. He always gave back and tried to do the best he could with what little he had in the community. That probably was the start of me trying to pay it forward as far as I can go.
The best Chevy goes to Delaney. The best Ford goes to Mike Fish. Oh, he's getting it. And the best Mopar goes to Carrie Holtz. Okay, so I got one more trophy, and it's the Parkinson's Award. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you speak on this one, man.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today. I was diagnosed several years ago with Parkinson's. We actually found out that it's actually called Multiple System Atrophy, which is basically Lou Gehrig's and Parkinson's combined. This year has been a rough one. I've got my family. My daughter came in and surprised me for almost an 8-hour drive and brought me to tears. But my father got me started doing car shows, and this year it goes to number 23, Mr. and Mr. Burton. Please accept that on our behalf, or my family to yours. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the MSA. Thank you, State Line Riders. Thank you, Road Relics. It was 1 year ago today that actually I was able to get to keep riding this trike. So if it wasn't for the Reed family, the State Line Riders, I would never keep doing it. So I want to say thank you again to every single person that's out here.
Love you, brother.
Dad.
Money doesn't buy happiness. Love does. Guys, it's a pleasure.
Take it easy, man. You too.
Please
We'll see you next year.
Please, let's keep in touch.
Really?
Thank you.
We'll be here next year.
Congratulations.
Take care, brother. We see you later, man.
Love you, hon. Once a relic, always a relic.
That's right.
Bye, sweetie.
At this point in my life, I have a roof over my head. I have a beautiful wife, loving family, beautiful kids.
I love you, hon.
Love you.
You know it.
Out of their way.
Yeah. Don't get run over.
You gotta give me a hug. No handshake. Love you,
Thank
brother.
you for being my partner. Means a lot. But deep down inside, it's hard to deal with. But I'm probably the richest man in the world.
A man in Central Illinois is fighting a rare disease, but says he is putting a positive outlook on life to help raise awareness for others in his situation.
There's no treatment or cure, and Crawford's been slowly losing bodily functions ever since.
For an easy way to describe MSA is Parkinson's with Lou Gehrig's symptoms also at the same time.
If you asked Austin Crawford a few years ago, sharing his story would have been a scary thought, but that all changed when Phil Joya from Center Street Studios reached out to him.
It was tough for me to kind of even process like what he was going through.
Joya and Crawford teamed up to make an MSA awareness video a little more than 2 years ago. It expanded to an award-winning documentary funded by the MSA Coalition.
There would be times where I'd shoot and like kind of break down on the way home. Just hearing his heart to help other people, even though he was in a tough situation for himself.
But it's also helped Austin Crawford to keep pushing forward.
This is what we're needing really, is a little bit more hope and laughter and smiles.
In Iroquois County, Karina Rubio, WCIA3, your local news leader.
I don't know if you know the story about the tattoo on his arm. He has an angel that's on his arm. That's actually the angel that is on my daughter's grave. Not long after we got married, even though he's not her father, he got that tattoo.
I'm probably the richest man in the world.
Austin is very generous. If he's in his wheelchair, he'll still open the car door. It was actually my daughter's birthday. She was stillborn. And I was going out to the cemetery to take flowers out, and my phone rang. It was him, and he had asked me to go out that night on a blind date. When we got married years later, we got married on June 15th because that was her birthday. That was, you know, when we met, and we actually got married out at the chapel where she's buried. A lot of his friends know that if they need anything, Austin would be the first one there. He'd do anything for anybody. He does push himself, and there's days when they'll want him to go and do this and go and do that, and it's like, I always tell him, I'm like, do they realize that you're the one that's sick?
Well, my name is Austin Crawford. I'm 49 years old. I was diagnosed with a disease called MSA, or Multiple System Atrophy. Hi, this is Austin Crawford. I'd like to talk to my neurologist. It is a neurological disease that is very rare. Even doctors or some neurologists have troubles even distinguishing what it is. First, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2012, and then our diagnosis of MSA was in 2017.
Hello.
That would be 2012, 9 years now. And the average lifespan is 5 to 9 years on the average, according to the MSA Coalition. Rapidly, you just lose it. It's a fight every single minute. Like right now, my toe is about ready to break off. The only thing you have is your drive to keep going.
I'm gonna have such a good day today!
I do have a full feeding tube now. I do have a full-time caretaker. Every day is a new challenge, and every day is a challenge that I have to wake up and face. Just putting my feet on the floor, saying hello to a friend, going out and turning a wrench on the car. Yeah, my day is spent trying to get this word out. Hi, good morning everybody. It's Tuesday. I just want to let you know I am still alive. I will be getting back to TikTok as soon as we are finishing up this film. You guys, I can't wait. Yes. Today is my best day that I will have in my entire life. Because I'm not granted tomorrow. Life's not always happy. It's a miserable disease. It's taken everything from me. It's almost taken your soul. It's really what it is. You're just trapped inside a body that you can't get out of. And it's scary. And you have no control over it anymore. I want to make MSA a household name before I'm gone. MSA has made me who I am. And I am MSA. And I know my time is short. And I'm alright with that. Because I'm at peace with me. You don't get to choose anymore. Your disease chooses your life. But your attitude chooses your outlook. And I hope I have enough positive outlook to help somebody else. Ready? I'm hoping Christmas. That's what I want. I just want to see Christmas.
You don't need coffee.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
My wife one day started out saying I needed to have something to do. So we started on social media. We started with Instagram first and Facebook. Obviously, everyone's on Facebook. One day, My wife says, you need to see this video. It's on TikTok. Never heard of TikTok before. We've met so many amazing people across the world. It's very humbling. Many of you that know me know that I did the documentary. And obviously, in the video, there was a trike. The trike is no longer with us, obviously. We have a 1970 Dodge Dart. We've turned into a rolling billboard with several sponsors. We've been able to raise a lot of awareness with the MSA Dart, or what I like to call the Beast.
Came to know Austin when he sent me a message on an online forum, and he goes on to tell me that he has this disease known as MSA. To get that diagnosis and know that your days on earth here are numbered, and the first thing you think of is you're going to help as many people as you possibly can, it was just amazing for me to hear.
Everywhere we go, we're asked what MSA is.
We are at the Watsika, Illinois, and we are at the Steak and Shake. Cruise in, got a wide selection of cars, so coming out, raising awareness, and making MSA present.
The last 2 years, I've lost the ability to do a lot, but gained the ability to be more expressive and more open about my illness. That's been God's blessing to me, is to be able to open up and actually talk about this disease. That's probably been my greatest blessing over the last 2 years.
Just getting the MSA out there, I think that's his biggest kind of role right now. He's just so focused and so driven about getting the word out. Nobody knows what it is. I don't know how many times we hear, oh, MS. No, it's not MS, and then he explains it to him. And he doesn't do it in a mean way. He just does it because he wants to get it out there. If anybody walks by and, says something, he'll stand there for an hour and talk to him and tell him everything. And he can answer just about every question.
In the trunk, I carry the Multiple System Atrophy Coalition's pamphlets and their bracelets. So when somebody asks, they get a bracelet and a pamphlet. They see the car and they're asking questions, and that's why we're doing this, just to get questions. Why? What is MSA? Since MSA is called the Beast, we wanted to turn our Dart into a beast. Blueprint Engines made that dream a reality by reassuring that we had plenty of motor. So we now have a 408 cubic inch stroker crate motor pushing nearly 500 horse.
So it was wanting to idle higher.
Well, we don't know. It was
I just took it upon myself. I'm just going to do it myself. Didn't have the tools at the time to do it, so I went out and saved enough money to buy a cherry picker, bought all the parts. Then one day, pulled the motor out by myself, put the new motor in by myself, started working on the wiring, finished the wiring, drove the car by myself, and had just been working on the little bugs, getting the car safe. Brakes have been redone. The drivetrain is all basically new. My greatest joy is to be able to go out to the garage, jump in the car, fire that engine over, and be able to go out for a cruise.
He's always been a motorcycle rider. That is his kind of therapy. Go out, get some wind therapy, and but he knew when it was that time to give it up, when it wasn't safe anymore. And then that's when they traded the car and the bike.
I still believe I can go back on that bike, but my reality is that this car is an extension of that bike. It's that freedom that you're getting The feeling of being behind 500 horsepower is nothing short of miraculous. The smell of fuel, the smell of the exhaust, the rumble notes, knowing that you can actually go out there, pull up next to the guys and they respect you for what you've built. It's not the prettiest car in the world. It's not the fastest car in the world. It's not the most powerful car in the world. But it stands for something.
He knows that he probably won't be doing that much longer. And I think that's tough. He doesn't like to have to depend on anybody. He's always gone and done it. And because I'll even say, well, I'll drive. No, I'll drive.
Do you feel safe when he's driving you around?
There's been a couple of times when I've known that he's to the point where he's tired and I'm like, you know what, just let me drive. I'll drive home or whatever.
Alright, my total accomplishments for today have been so far, if you're keeping up with me on my TikToks, I haven't got done. So, have a great day. For me not being able to get out of the house, TikTok has actually been a saving grace. It has allowed me to be able to still express our story and hear other people's stories on what they've been through.
I think a lot of the TikTok stuff that he does, even though it's so stupid and corny, he's always said, he's like, well, I'm doing it for you and Caitlin, you know, so you have something to remember.
Just because you have MSA, it does mean bad things are on their way, but it doesn't mean they're right now, at that moment. Yeah, I don't believe in the last 2 years I'm focusing on what I had. I'm focusing on what I have now and what's important. And that's to get the awareness out of MSA. We do it with flair. It's just my personality shining through. I'm not always happy and cheery, but I do the best I can to remain positive, because if I know if I'm positive, my attitude will rub off on the next person. Smiles are contagious. I may not be smiling on the inside, but I am smiling on the outside because everyone loves a positive attitude. If you're positive, you're trying to stay focused and make it the best that you can. Did I do enough? Did I give enough? I'm not sure.
We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes, it's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it!
MSA has made me a better person. It may sound weird. It's actually made me realize that I'm just a regular person just like everybody else. I thought, I was doing so great. I had everything. I had the world in the palm of my hand. Everything I'd done was magical. Being able to spend that extra 5 minutes with Amy, even just going out, making sure I'm holding her hand. You always take those for granted. Even just 2 years ago, I took her for granted. Now I don't.
Have we ever played the game of life? We're playing it right now. We're not winning. Oh, I meant the board game. Oh. Yeah, I don't think so either, though. Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Today is the day that I've kind of waited for 2 years to go to the biggest car show that I know of, Power Tour 2021. It's kind of a dream come true. We're going to show off a little bit of awareness with the MSA Dart, with a little bit of horsepower and a lot of fun. We're going to show that the Dart is capable and is going to be a blast to drive and show. That is going to be an experience.
To be able to go to the Power Tour is kind of like a bucket list, like Sturgis for motorcycles. The Power Tour is the event of all events to go to if you're a car guy, and I have become that car guy. I wanted to do the Power Tour the second day that I had the car. I saw it on TV, I saw it on Motor Trend. Always been around cars, but the Power Tour, once I drove the car, I was hooked.
I think Austin's gonna be a kid in the candy store with this Power Tour. There's supposed to be like 20,000 cars or something like that, and he is really looking forward to that.
We made it! Power Tour 2021. That feels good.
I
don't know where I'm going. Roadkill. Roadkill. There are 10 parking lots, from everything from the Mullet-mobile to the 55 Chevy that's behind you, to the Darts, Oldsmobiles, Rat Rods, you name it, and it is out here, and it is an amazing day, and I'm so glad to be part of it. Yeah, this has got the, well, it had originally had a 340. This is a 408 from Blueprint Engines. They donated the motor. Oh, man. My MSA is my disease. It's basically it's Parkinson's and Lou Gehrig's together. So there's no treatments, no cure. So we're out here raising awareness for MSA. And I've had a lot of people come up and talk about the car, asking what MSA is.
The one thing is it's supposed to be very, very hot, and with him, his body temperature isn't regulated. He doesn't know when he's hot and that kind of thing. So that's the one thing I worry about. A car show just wears him out.
I built the car, put the motor in by myself, got it all running just to come to the power tour.
What do you hope to, I guess, kind of touch your viewers? How do you hope to reach people?
I worked as a medic for Carl Hospital, volunteer EMT, auxiliary police officer, security guard, bouncer, full-time street superintendent for the village of Milford, and father of 2 beautiful daughters.
Wow.
All at the same time.
Wow,
Until
that's
this,
amazing.
until this happened. I'm gonna do a TikTok real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do I have your permission?
I'm like not familiar with your TikTok. I should check it out.
They're
oh
goofy.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be famous.
Joking around is my way of coping, basically.
Yeah. I'll do my best to make you look good on camera.
Is it supposed to add weight? I need about 20 extra pounds. We're just making sure that we get MSA noticed, see a lot of cool cars, and make a lot of new friends. We did it. We actually received a gift in the mail from a person that was on a TikTok. We received a Tobii eye device that actually controls our laptops. The sensors are actually run by eyes, since writing and gripping and that is a little more hard to do, so it actually tracks your eyes so you can actually still have a voice and be able to be heard that way. So that was actually from her mother that she lost. So that was a blessing.
I learned something about one of my TikTok friends today. We honestly never know what someone's battling. It just humbles you. He is an amazing human being and a wonderful friend.
There.
Hey there, Mr. Crawford.
Hey, Dr. F.
How you doing?
Good. I have my wife here.
Hi, Dr.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst possible pain, where would you rate your pain today?
8 for me.
All right. Tiredness, 0 being not tired, 10 being the worst possible tiredness, where would you rate yourself today?
9.
Depression, 0 is not depressed, 10 is the worst possible depression.
6.
Well-being, that's overall sense of just feeling quality of life and well-being, 0 being the best, 10 being the worst.
8.
What's the one you want to tackle first?
Pain. My back is and spine I just don't have any core muscles anymore, so it's my whole entire body weight is basically just crushing me in the chair. Hand cramping, leg cramping, toes, I think just about everything but my eyeballs.
Spasm.
And and I know, like we talked about before, you've been a fairly medicine hesitant person.
Yes, sir. Yes.
There's going to be a price to pay with any of these medications in terms of other symptoms that you get. And are those symptoms worth it, in the sense that, hey, I might be more sleepy, but my pain is better controlled, and that's a tricky balancing act for people, to determine what's the thing they want.
I know we had tried the gabapentin before. Is that an opioid?
No, it's not. Gabapentin is a medication for neuropathic pain, nerve pain.
Okay.
So the tricky part with Mr. Crawford is that, he has a neurodegenerative disease. So there's a possibility that his nerves are degrading and cause pain. But then, as you mentioned, you have this muscle spasm, this thing where your muscles are not, doing what they should be doing. And, those muscles are causing the pain themselves. And that's a different type of pain. And we try a different medication for that. That's why the baclofen has been helpful for that, because it helps keep that spasming from occurring. Okay. And I think we might be in a place where we have to do as a sort of mixture of things to try to get where we are. You have, Mr. Crawford, you've been really powering through a lot of things as best you can, and it's really kind of up to you about, how you want to feel. If you want to be more awake and alert, that might mean some more pain, but sometimes getting a little pain relief actually helps improve your sleep and will make you more awake and alert once we find that really fine balance.
The crushing pain is the one that is from the spine. That's a lot of really basic symptom management type stuff, and that's what we can start with. But there are probably some bigger things we should talk about too. Is it okay we talk about that? Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I can certainly see you've lost weight, you're more drawn, you're more contracted than you were, and you're good at talking a big game, but I think things have progressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I've taken a back seat.
The other thing that, we talked about when we initially met was decisions going forward and things like that. And one of the things you had decided on was a feeding tube, which seemed very reasonable at that time, because you had some things you wanted to do and you couldn't get the calories in. But one of the things that we haven't really discussed is things like code status. When your heart stops, should we do CPR? When that happens, it's not like you can sit there and start having a conversation about valid chance of life.
Right.
So when your heart stops, it's from complications of your multi-system atrophy, right? It has caused now something that's happened either to your heart or your lungs, which is not compatible with life anymore. If we find you without a heartbeat, should we try to bring you back or should we not try to bring you back? Mm-hmm. And I would argue when somebody has an advanced disease like Mr. Crawford does, to be brought back to die from that disease again is probably not that helpful.
It's not my battle to win.
Well, battle's not worthwhile because you win or lose. A battle's worthwhile because it's fighting for the things that are important for you.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, you have certainly fought for a lot of things that are important for you.
Thank you. I'm trying.
I know you're trying really, really hard.
It's almost like I'm failing.
I think you take way too much responsibility for this. So failing would not be advocating. Failing would not be, trying to take care of yourself. You've done all those things. Unfortunately, all of us have a beginning and we have an end. Yeah. Some of us have an end from one thing, some of us have an end from another thing. You're a nice guy, you're a fun guy. I'm sorry that, you have a disease that struck you down this early. But despite this disease, you're a positive individual. You put up with me. You advocate for other people with your disease. You've been working on different projects. You really haven't let this disease define you at all.
Do you think it is time for the hospice?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because normally our criteria for ALS are pretty clear. He doesn't have ALS. You have a disease that I have one patient with, that I have seen once in my career. From what I saw from the gentleman I met in person about a year ago to now, there's been significant change. If that change is going to continue, this may be upon you sooner than you might like, but it would add some extra support and things like that. It would hopefully also, if you did run into trouble, prevent you from having to be hospitalized. and things like that. Because if you're in trouble, you can call them 24 hours a day. Well, otherwise, you just have 911 to call 24 hours a day.
Right.
You have pushed on the edges of that box for so long, and you can still push on it as much as you like. We just need to get some other support structures in place.
Yes.
I agree.
I agree. I do appreciate you being able to get on actually face to face, so we can
it worked out well.
That we can actually see now,
right?
Physically. But I won't take up any more of your time. I know
that's quite all right.
So
I appreciate it, folks. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, how do you feel?
Well, I think I'm glad that you're finally doing it. I think you've waited too long to get some pain meds, and I think that's what you need to do.
This is definitely my favorite spot. Mornings, coming out, have my cup of coffee, just watch the sun come up, the colors of the trees change as the fall, listen to the rain. I live day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. It really has opened up my eyes to life. It really has. It's made me stop and think, am I doing this for nothing? What is my purpose? And then when you wake up that next morning and your wife's there and she's saying that she loves you and it's time to get up, then you realize, oh yeah, that's my purpose. I gotta get up. You have people looking forward to you, and I took it for granted.
There's been times when he's like, can't you just stay home? And it's like, I don't think I could do that. I don't think at first he understood that, but I think a spouse, caretaker, you have to have your own time too. I can at least come out for a couple hours, work, get my mind off of everything. And the Department of Rehabilitation is great too, because that's one of their major things. They want to allow the spouse to, get out, still be able to work. They want to have you be able to have the caretaker, so then when I come home, I don't have to worry about doing this, cleaning the house or doing that. I can spend time with him. He is spending more time sleeping, especially in the afternoons, and usually getting up about the time I'm getting home from work. He never did that before. That's just really been in the last month and a half, 2 months maybe. He's probably thinking that he doesn't have a lot more time. And I think that's why he's really wanting Caitlin to come home and spend some time with her. And because I think he knows that, he's not going to be around much longer.
Christmas, so I just drove about 9 hours from Kansas. You know, it makes me happy that I can actually like do something for him, you know, because there's not a lot that you can do for somebody, you know. Hi!
Merry Christmas. How are you? Come on in.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's always a pleasure to come back and see my dad from being so far away, because I know that it brings him, you know, a lot of joy, that comfort of being able to see, you know, family.
You have to open that one first.
Thank you. My stepmom always tells me that I'm just like my dad. We try to do everything that we can for everybody else, you know, on top of trying to make sure that we stay strong for ourselves too. Those are cute. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's got some special meaning behind it.
It resonates, you know, like we're the same. So, and it makes me really proud to know that like he can still stay so strong.
They're nice and warm.
Thank you. It feels like it's gonna be nice and warm.
They're real soft.
Yeah. Yeah. It helps me out too. Well, my day isn't as bad as compared to like what my dad has to do. And if he can do it, I can do it too. The everyday motivation to keep getting up, going to work, coming home, taking care of life.
I figured you needed some stuff for your new house.
Yes.
Well, you've got your first home, so now you've got your first home sweet home sign.
Oh, thanks, guys. One of the things I'd really like people to remember about my dad is his drive, pure and simple. He faces life every single day knowing it's going to be hard and still completes every single day. I mean, everybody faces challenges. It's how you head on to those challenges is what gets you through the next phase. That drive to just push yourself that you can do it, it's there. The car is a beauty. We'll say that, you know. Growing up, you know, I know my dad was always into cars. It'd be the first time that I've been in the car. Very first time. I'm excited. I'm ready to go fast. For him to be able to find this car to where he can still be mobile, but he can also put his own mark onto that too is nice. It's always going to be that reminder for anybody that sees that car. That's what that stands for. That's what that's raising awareness for. The person who created that was the person who started the journey for all of us.
Ready?
Ready. Hit it. Nice. People are gonna be like, somebody was doing burnouts outside your house. You could be like, yeah, I know, it was me and my daughter. Just him being able to show it off, you know, be super proud of it, and get that excitement, that joy, that little childish back in his eyes, you know, that's awesome to be able to see, you know, because he's not sad, you know what I mean? Like, he has that spark, and that's his baby, you know? Very proud of that car. As a daughter, when you're growing up, your parents always try to protect you from everything. You know, they don't want you to see the bad things in life because they want you to enjoy that childhood. And then as an adult, you kind of grow up and then you see everything for how it really is. And you know that no matter what, everybody's going to leave. You have to just kind of take those moments that you have, help each other out, push each other forward, you know, be there for one another, have that support, have that family. That's what makes you the richest person.
Well, I took off, started running. I was so sly without cunning. So far gone, I laid here alone. And don't you think I think it's not funny? From below, golden silver shows up pure as snow. Like everybody